Yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Let's Talk Battle Rap Podcast, the Battle Rap Podcast of New York, brought to you by the Gotham Podcast Studio. Now, if you want to get in touch with us, ladies and gentlemen, email us at letstalkbattlerap@gmail.com. Follow the show at LTBR Podcast on Instagram and Twitter, and follow me at Program V on Instagram and Twitter. Now that I got that out of the way, I'm going to welcome my man Dylan onto the show for our first installment of our Recappables. Dylan, welcome to the show, player.
Thanks for having me. How you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Well, first of all, I'd like to let everyone know that you are now an official team member of the LTBR podcast, my brother. So on air, I want to officially welcome you to the crew, man. We appreciate what you do, and we know that there's going to be nothing but fire coming from the future, you know? So I just want to say thank you, brother, for joining the squad.
Thank you, man. I appreciate y'all for having me on the platform. I think it's going to be a great, thing for both of us. It's going to be a mutually beneficial thing. And I just can't wait to put out this content. It's going to be crazy.
Hell yeah, man. And like I said, we're doing the Recappables, and people always ask us, what do you think about this battle or that battle? And a lot of times France and we don't always get to cover just one battle. We'll cover the whole event. We're doing the interviews, this, that, and the third. But we realize you people want this. You know what I'm saying? And we know that our man Dylan is supremely talented at it, and he's good at breaking everything down. And what's cool is that it's going to be Dylan and all of us. So we're going to rotate, so you'll get fresh perspectives every time. But our man Dylan will be holding it down, spearheading the Recappables. And for the first one that he and I will be doing together, we're going to be covering QP Quantum Physics versus YK. This battle is fire. And I'm glad it's the first battle that we're covering, my brother. So
yeah, absolutely. And then both of them too, before we even get into it, both of them did their thing, and they did what they always do. That's what I like about both of these guys.
Yes.
This is one thing that they always do. They come prepared, they come to do their thing. It's just, I was happy to get this one out the way, and we're about to get into it.
Word, man. They didn't mail it in, and we got classic performances from both of them. We got really A1 performances from both of these guys, man. And you could tell from the crowd that they loved it. Man, and let's get into it, man. Let's not even waste any time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to start off with QP round one. All right. Now, to me, QP started off a little slow and choppy. You know what I'm saying? But I love the fact that he started comparing Kannon's name to what the old school Kannon was meant for.
Yeah, off the boat, man. Yeah. That was crazy. And I didn't know where he was going with it at first. I'm like, all right.
That's why I was a little slow, right?
Yeah, and I think it was part of his, he was kind of shaking off a little bit of rust. He hasn't battled too much. And it started off, it was a little weird with the intro, but then once he got into, the middle of the setup, and you saw that it was the boat and walking the
the pirate, walking the plank. And he's like, this is what your name is for, Kannon, shooting people off the side of the boat. I was like,
and then he uses the Webster dictionary, the definition of all that. And
I was like, that was fire, man. That was fire. And then he went all, one line that really caught my eye, man, not my eye, my ears, when he said, and this is what I love about QP's wordplay. Like, it's so sneaky. He goes, yeah, sure. Kannon, you're reliable, hardworking. I'll make sure, he's steadfast. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean? And he goes, meaning that he's dead fast, but steadfast is reliable and hardworking. And the way he just puts it together and couples it with that small in the beginning, it's like, you'll miss it.
Yeah, that cadence. And that's one thing that he brings too, besides being one of the funniest people. Like that, the way that he delivers everything, it doesn't matter what he's saying. It's gonna come off, the way that he wants it to come off every single time.
Yeah.
And that was one that was kind of, I don't know. There's a lot that I didn't catch with his.
Man,
honestly, I had to go back and watch a couple times. There was a lot that he does, especially with the way that he raps. I always figure it's going to be that way, but first watch, I definitely didn't get it all.
Yeah, with Quantum, it's like you almost have to be in a quantum zone. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to get whatever you need to do to get in that QP zone to really tune into what he's saying, because he's so sneaky that you'll miss him, and you'll have to watch the battle like 3-4 times just to catch all of them. And that was one that I caught that I really thought was dope. after that part though, I thought the crowd was a little happy to see him, shall I say, you know what I'm saying? Dare we say gas just a little bit, you know?
Yeah, I mean, and you could really tell that in the second round when we get into it. That's when you could really tell that they were happy to see him when he got into that bag.
Yeah.
Because it worked the whole time. But
The whole damn
I mean, I
time,
think it was a little bit of both. A little bit of like a welcome, welcome back. It's a fresh face.
Mm-hmm. And then he got to the whole Carlos Airport whip scheme. It was a little weird, you know what I'm saying? I'm like,
yeah, and
it's like
so is it supposed to be like the name flip? Like,
yeah, but I'm like, his name ain't even Carlos. Like, he made up a name to make it fit for the scheme, and I'm like,
right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't get. Yeah,
I'm like, the scheme was cool, but it's like, bruh, come on, man. Like, you just reaching down. Like, his name's Pedro. Like, but it was cool, but I was like, come on, man.
I don't know.
You're doing a little much.
I mean,
you know,
if you're being stereotypical, just throwing out like a name from that ethnicity.
He's like, I picked you up past the airport. I was like, what are you talking? Like, what? You know what I'm saying? I was like, QP, man, you bugging, man. You know what I mean? But another cool one-liner that I picked up from him, he said something crack prices. Man, I got infinite hard quotes. And I was like, yeah, this guy's stupid, man. He had the chompers, indent your face, first impressions. You know, you go to the dentist, you know, your teeth are your chompers, you get the impressions done. Great scheming. The hotel scheme was cool. The crowd was a little pumped up for that one. The sound effects really helped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they get everybody like, hey, wake up a little bit.
Yeah.
The crowd, because the crowd, I mean, for this battle, YK's style is so much different than QP that it was they got a little restless with QP after a while. Yeah. With YK, he's punch, regardless if it's a old scheme that he was using or whatever.
Right.
That's my thing with YK, but we'll get into that. But that punch, it keeps the crowd way more in tune with you, way more excited than having to listen to QP's setups.
Yeah. QP ended it, and he did another thing. Like we were just talking about, like, he makes up a crazy scenario just to land the punch. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like how Danny will do sometimes. Like, he's basically saying he took the long way to say, I'm gonna take you to the bleachers and like throw your face in the stairs, right? But he makes this crazy long, incredible, drawn out scheme. And but the punchline was dope. But I'm like, bruh, the scheme is too long. And it was what do you say? The stare in the face was a dope line. But the build up to
we said when
they're you like to face the stairs. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, so you're gonna drag her all the way out to the end of the field. You're gonna go to the bleachers. You're gonna make her look at this. I'm like, you take it too long, man. You take it too long. You know,
yeah, and that's one thing where YK is more back to back than he is. That's
exactly.
One advantage he had with keeping the crowd reaction on his side.
Yeah, man, it was a cool first round. You know what I'm saying? It was a cool first round. It's what you expect.
And it was a nice round back. Shake off some rust, get us used to the QP vibes again.
Yeah, man, his cadence was good too. All the stepping around and that, like when he starts pumping his voice up to let you know he's about to deliver the punch. You know what I'm saying? Like. And I think he's been learning that as he's going along, because like he can get so deep and so intricate that you don't know when to look for the punch. So once he starts switching that voice up and revving up that engine, he's landing something. You may not understand it, but
even if you didn't get what was coming in before that, or
right?
You were thinking too hard, now. All right, forget what you heard before just now. Like, pay attention to what he's about to say.
Right. And I swear, man, people listen to the voice and just start going woo, like they don't even know what he's saying sometimes. Like it's just the voice.
Half the time, as long as it's rhyming and he's like not stuttering and he's got his flow going on, like they're gonna give it a cheer for something, especially if he puts that little voice into it. It's a wrap.
Yeah, man, because I ain't gonna lie, because sometimes I'll be listening and I'll go, yo, come on, man, you guys are tripping right now. Like, oh my God, I don't know what's in them cups right now.
Hey, I was gonna say it's different on cam. We know that too.
Big time.
It's a different vibe. So in the building, you feel it differently when he does that voice and that little extra oomph.
Bruh, I will be the first to admit that if I was in the building, I would have been slapping my face and turning around and acting a fool. Yes, I definitely would have. So I ain't gonna act like I'm holier than thou. But when you're sitting back in the crib and you watching it and you listening and you're going, all right, you guys are just in the zone right now, which is fine. You know what I'm saying? Which is cool. So we'll say first round, cool round. Out of a 1 out of 10, what would you give his round?
I mean, I'd probably give it like a a 6.5.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say
Nothing
7.
crazy, but it wasn't. There was no choke. There wasn't really any stumbles. Anything. It was a clean round.
Right.
He did had his humor in there, stuff that QP does too, along with the punchlines and some dope schemes. So yeah, I would say like a 6.5, just because there wasn't anything that really wowed me though. Not really any scheme or punch or joke that really I was dying or I was like, dang, that was the one right there. Like, nah, not really.
Yeah, I gave it a 7. I thought it was cool. Nothing was too crazy, but nothing was like super whack. And you still had a couple of bars where you're like, I like that. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't.
Yeah, like I didn't even think about that one. Like, I don't know where that came from. I like that.
Yeah. Now we get into YK's first round, which was fire. What do you think about for that round before we even get into it?
I mean, he just started punching. And I was like, all right, this is going to die off, like he's going to plateau eventually. It's not going to all start hitting. And it just kept coming and coming. And he's consistent. There's one thing with YK is he's consistent. And I think I seen him. I don't know if it was him or not, so don't quote me on that. But there was some rants on Twitter talking about people who always come with a full clip, and
it's him.
I believe he had a tweet something like, I'm not going to the plug and paying full price if I ain't getting my full. My full product. And, that's why he always comes, with a full plate because he's getting paid.
Hell yeah, man.
So,
he always comes with 3 rounds, man. Always comes with 3 solid rounds. He might have some live 95 bars in there here and there, but.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But, he's always going to come with something that you're going to walk away from and go, yo, that was crazy, So going into some of the crazy bars, man, he starts off with the obligatory, of course, you got to shoot and kill your opponent. And he already battled QP's partner, Clean Paper, and he was saying even though his rhymes weren't the greatest, he put him in a box, and now he's going to put the other QP in the casket. So that's half a pound in the casket. The crowd goes crazy.
That's the opener, man. That's a hell of an opener.
Yeah. And then he goes and then he continues with the casket. And then, he's mentioning that don't even try to stop me or whatever, because he's going to blow in the casket like Frank Lucas, meaning shooting through the box, shooting through your casket. You know what I mean? But blow in the casket like Frank Lucas, I was like, yo, this YK is on fire, man. A line that caught me, because this line I like to categorize into the ghetto ass lines, man. When he said, I'm coming for the cheese, clip shaped like a Velveeta block. And I'm like, oh my God.
Oh my.
I'm like, yo, cause we get, what the block of Velveeta cheese look like? Yeah, I'm like, yo.
When you're making the mac and cheese, we already know.
Oh man, my brother, man, I make the crazy lobster, shrimp, seafood, mac and cheese, man, with the 4 cheeses.
Don't do it to me, but still,
we ain't gonna do that. But I was like, yo, the imagery of that was just kind of ill. And he said, I'm coming after your cheese, meaning coming after your money. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, there was a double in there.
Yeah, but it was just so ghetto, so simple, but and the crowd went crazy, man, because Milwaukee's a ghetto ass town. With all due respect, I mean ghetto in a fabulous way. You know what I'm saying? But I just loved it, man. You know what I mean? What else did he get into? What you thought about that musical chairs bar?
I mean, it was fire, but I feel like, have we heard musical chair bars?
I don't know if I did. I don't know if I heard it in that way.
I definitely haven't
heard
it
in
like
that way.
I would say I've never heard it like that.
Right? So, because I was like, yo, he said musical chairs. He said, you stop. Stop singing once, you sit down once the singing stops. Oh, come on, man. That's kind of fire.
No, it was fire for sure. And that's the thing and he haymakers too. Like it's punch, haymaker. And I thought there was going to be more setup with him knowing he was going against a QP, but he didn't stray away from what he does best. Yeah. And that one was fire. And my question was like, my first question was, damn, have I heard that kind of musical chair bar before though? Like
I know we've definitely heard a musical chair bar.
That is one thing with YK though that I always feel is that it's like he has a couple bars in the battle where I'm like, man, I've either heard that 100 times, but I've definitely heard it before.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
Everybody's heard it, or I just watch too much battle rap.
Yeah, you're gonna get a couple of those from Kannon, man. I just come to expect it, and. It is what it is,
He's original for the most part, so I don't really hold it against him too much. It's just one thing. It's like a little pet peeve. Like that's my nitpicking with him. I don't like the nitpick too much because He's fire, but that's the one thing where it's like, damn, you got one of them a battle. It's all right though. It's
Trust
all right.
me.
You can have that when
Yeah.
you got all this fire coming out.
Right. And then, man, what else did he have? Rifle, scope through the window like a peeping Tom. Come on, he just doesn't stop, man. Black Ice is milking you for nothing. That's a WIC voucher.
Oh God.
Come on. Yo, I thought this was my line of the round, man. Put 2 zips on Q.
The bar of the round.
The bar of this round, man. When he makes the slicing motions and he goes, put 2 zips on QP. Now he's 6 ounces.
Yeah.
Oh man. I know it sounds simple to the crowd. I mean, I know it sounds simple to the audience listening right now or whatever, but the way he delivered it with all of those punches that were leading up to that, and then oh man, he just delivered it so perfectly, and it's like it's so simple, but it's so hard that it was just so hard hitting, man. That was
every bar, and it's not always the strongest bar, the most intricate bar. Right. That's the best bar. It's the moment too.
Yeah, exactly.
I go back to like even if we go look at Verb and Mook, one of my favorite bars from that battle was the "You're not one of us." Mm-hmm. How many people you had on your podcast?
Not one of us, right?
Who you had on your podcast? Not one of us. It's not super crazy, but that hit hard for me.
Yeah,
like
man.
That's real, like and it's not always that that super crazy bar, and that for YK, that's up there for bar of the battle.
Yeah, that was the craziest bar of that round for me, man. And he had a fire. White boy jumping from the line, Brent Barry, and then he closes it off with the fire Dumb and Dumber line. You know what I'm saying? You guys have to watch the battle for that line. I can't remember it right now. It's been a long day. You know what I'm saying? But it was a fire line, man. All in all, who did you have winning that first round, my brother?
I thought that one was pretty clear for YK. That's one of his better performances, bar wise.
Yep. I
mean, delivery, cadence. He had everything going for him. He was feeling himself. I mean, and that's another thing too when he's on that stage, because I mean he's closer to home. He doesn't have to travel as much.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. You always see him more comfortable in that state too, and that's where he gets a lot of his like clear wins, when he doesn't have to focus too much on all the other shit.
Yo, it was just such a polished round, man. I was like, damn. People need to give YK some more respect, man, because that brother.
I think I personally need to give him some more respect, because I'm one of them people who I've been a YK hater. I mean, not but I'm self-aware. If there's one thing I am, I might be. If I am biased or if I am something, I'll point it out and be like, right.
And there's nothing wrong with that at all, as long as we admit to it. Because there's nothing like a secret biased person. It's like, come on, man, I can't even respect your argument. At least if you tell me you biased, at least we can take it from there. And it's like, I don't feel like I'm just arguing for no good reason. You know what I'm saying? Wasting my time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Word, man. Now, oh man, we're going to try something new. Dylan and I are going to try for the first time. We're going to play the most fire round from this battle. Now, normally in the future, what we'll do is we'll play the most fire round from one opponent and the most fire round from from the other opponent. But in this battle, for me personally, we decided that this second round was just so dope. QP was in his bag. YK was in his bag. So we're going to play the round. And we'll stop it as we go through the highlights. Dylan, if at any point you want me to stop, just let me know. I'll hit the button and I'll do the same likewise. So, you guys, if you're driving in your car, if you're on the subway, if you're walking, if you're at the gym, this is a good chance to really see how fire this battle is, so you don't have to listen to our dumb voices, saying these lines over again. You could actually listen to how they're intended to be heard. So please go back and check out the Syndicate Cartel QP versus YK. We're going to get into the second round. Like I said, Dylan, at any point, if you want me to stop, just let me know, player, and we'll go over the bars, all right? So here we go. Round 2, and it's going to be on QP. Now, let me just set it up. Round 1 is over. QP had ended his round by making a little bar at Cannon Sneaker. So, just keep that in mind, because he goes into so many jokes about his sneakers.
I cannot believe how long this lasted. Man. It was amazing.
Yo, my dude, I'm glad that I'm in my zone right now, if you know what I mean. So I'm totally ready for this, man. So let me hit this play button, my brother. Let's rock.
Them bitches look like. Oh my God. What they look like?
Your right foot was on the brake while your left foot floored it, nigga. I got a song called "What Are Those?" and I just came up with a fresh hook for it, nigga. Okay.
Yo, he said, I got a song called What Are Those? I just came up with a fresh hook for it, pointing to YK sneakers. Crazy.
See them some bullshit.
And then, hold up, real quick.
Yeah, sure.
Now, my thing is this a pre-buttal or a rebuttal? Now, did he write? Because some of this doesn't seem like, it seems way too intricate to be on the spot. And did he prepare for Kannon to be bummy at the battle? Because if he did that, that's kind of impressive that it hit.
I kind of feel like it's like 75-25. Well, first of all, Kannon has he had some fire kicks on actually, because somebody in the crowd was like, "Hey, those are
they weren't as bad as he was."
Nah, they wasn't as. You know what I'm saying? But that's what's so dope, because he's still committed to it. He could have had on a pair of Louboutins. You know what I'm saying? And it still would have landed because he committed to it, man.
But that's what I'm saying. So it still even kind of fit. It still fit though. Like it wasn't like he was wearing something super crazy or fire. He's like, what are those? Nobody's like, those are the 11s. Like,
I think somebody said those are the Westbrooks. But then even then, it still goes into a fire bar because he goes, okay, see, those must be the bullshits. Well, you know what I'm saying? So, we'll get there. All right, let me hit play, man.
Was on the brake while your left foot floored it, nigga. I got a song called "What Are Those?" and I just came up with a fresh hook for it, nigga. Okay, see them some bullshits. What is them, the Westbrook Jordans?
OKC, those are some bullshits. What are those? The Westbrook Jordans. And Westbrook is signed to the Jordan brand. Come on, bruh. Like, that's scheming. That's entertainment ass scheming, man. Come on. Let's move on.
And it's on the spot. It's
man,
freestyling.
Come
it's
on,
not
bruh.
even.
I don't, this dude is talented, man. Let's go on. And he's literally talking to his sneakers.
Size 12? Well, I guess you're putting your best foot forward.
Size 12, well, I guess you're putting your best foot forward. Size 12, 12 inches, 1 foot, putting your best foot forward, and you're putting your foot forward. Come on, man. QP's pen is crazy. I know he's talking about sneakers, but look how deep he is talking about the sneakers, man. This is crazy.
Let's put 4 words for these circus shoes, nigga. None of this fair. You got warrants or something? This couldn't have been what you wanted to wear. Them bitches zombified and qualified for the people under the stairs. Point God, y'all in the building? Yes. Make sure everyone is aware.
Oh, man. He's in a zone. Yeah.
Them is fake Nikes that I see, and I done seen hundreds of pairs. So if you're drowning, just do it, since you couldn't come up for air.
Yo, if you're drowning,
and then still, is this like this is still rebutted? Like what if he's not wearing Nikes?
Right, that's what I'm saying, because exactly. How's he gonna know that Kannon is wearing Nikes? You feel me? He could have guessed he's wearing Nikes, but if he's not, this doesn't land as well. So whether it's freestyle or not, we don't know. But yo, if this is freestyle, this is crazy, man.
That was the whole thing while I was listening. I was like, yo, is this a rebuttal or a pre-buttal? Like, I gotta know. I gotta know, because if it's straight freestyle, and that
crazy,
it hits
right? Yo, your man said
harder. And if you're in the building, you think it's a freestyle. There's no
hell yeah. There's no way you're not thinking this ain't a freestyle,
right,
man. Yo, your man said if you're drowning, just do it, since you couldn't come up for air. Means you couldn't grind to get the money to buy a real pair of Nike Airs. You should just go kill yourself. Come on, man. His pen is crazy. Oh, man. Let's go on. Let's go.
What are them there? I haven't seen any of these sneaker reviews in the old catalog or anything recently new. For this Caterpillar dollar, I make sure he get the boot. I look like dog bites on every pair of sneakers he chooses. Think if you were rich just for kicks kicks, I wouldn't want to be in your shoes.
And it's still going on.
Yo, that was fire, man.
We're not even going to be able to get through this round.
Let's go. He's dancing around.
I'm relaxing. I be trained differently. Whenever he gets the tube, then what happens? I'm hitting the smack after that. Why? Because it give me a reason to shoot, nigga. That's like a wasp just for kicks that I would leave in your shoe. You press the horn, it flat out hurt your feet and you're screwed. That might sting your soul, and you wouldn't want to be in your shoes. Nigga, that's crazy. Did it sting your soul? You wouldn't want to be in your shoes?
Oh my God.
That was crazy. And now we're into the writtens, I'm pretty sure.
Yo, I don't know, man, because he's doing that bouncing around, looking at his feet, and he's doing the horn. The horn net laid flat. That's a beast.
I just can't. I don't think I can. There's no way. This is way too much.
I'll tell you
There's
what.
There's no way.
I'll tell you what. I saw a freestyle one time with QP. Who was he? Was he dissing Fox? They were doing some freestyle battle rapping. Like it was like an old DVD style. Like I'm gonna diss you on the track, but it was all freestyle though. And it was so well put together and so like it was crazy. So I don't know, man. I think he's got the ability to do it, man. Because like
I mean, at least in the beginning, he had to have started it off that way. There's no way.
Oh no, man.
I don't know because it all fits. I don't know.
But it still goes to that would sting your soul. You wouldn't want to be in your shoe. A bee in your shoe would sting your soul.
Before that, he had the hornet.
Yeah, come on, man. This is crazy. Let me go back to that one, man, for everybody. Hold on.
Sting your soul and. After that, why? Because it give me a reason to shoot, nigga. That's like a wasp just for kicks that I would leave in your shoe. You press the horn, it flat out hurt your feet and you're screwed. That might sting your soul, and you wouldn't want to be in your shoes, nigga. Did it sting your soul? You wouldn't want to be in your shoes?
Sting your soul.
Come on, man.
Season with views. How I style mine, cloud 9, nigga, the sky's the limit. Your kicks got low self-esteem, I gotta watch how I describe them bitches. It's just when it's you in a box, cause when you die it's different, but when you... The rules, there's new shoes on your feet as long as you still alive and kicking. Y'all watch these lives? They're vicious. Nigga, I only peeped it twice. Dirty bathrooms, stopped up toilets, nigga, this shit wasn't even right, no food. Nigga, no food, wicked, no, wicked was what he was eating like. Cereal, bread, milk, eggs, cheese, and rice. Jesus Cristo, since he's Mexican, it's not Jesus Christ. When I saw his bed, I was dead. Not for the fact that it was peed in right, but seasoned like. The mattress was so flat, whoever slept in it couldn't have jumped up and spring the light.
Yo, he laid on the ground and then jumped. He's performing his ass off, man. Couldn't spring to life. Fire.
Nice job, Kakarot. Let's get a point for Vegeta. You gotta have conviction behind your bars, and this joint is demeanor. Then what happens? Jesus kicks, and I ain't anointing them neither.
He's still on
You went to high
sneakers.
school, spiked the prom punch, got drunk than a teacher. Discovered the alcohol. You were scared because you had the voice of a drinker. Right? Then what happens? I was like, what he snitched? WWE bitch. He had no choice. You're a diva. So once the punchline hit, you knew he'd be the one pointing the finger. Your outfit says, donate to me, I'm hungry. Your outfit says, I live life on the edge. Look at me, I bungee. Your life says, QP live in Grand Hustle, and maybe QP might fund me. No, I wouldn't pay Dro if I had TI money.
Oh, fire. Fire.
There we go. And that's a name flip.
Yeah, man. I mean, he started getting a little towards the end, it lost a little bit of the sting, no pun intended, but he closed up crazy with that. I wouldn't even pay Dro if I had T.I.'s money, man. And of course.
Yeah, and it picked a good time to end it.
Yeah, man. And Cannon's name is Pedro, Young Dro, T.I., Young Dro signed to T.I., obviously. So, fire correlation, fire second round, man. I must say, this is one of the most entertaining rounds I've seen all year, man. What did you think about that round from QP?
Nah, I agree, and this was one of the best performances. This is one of the best everything except, honestly, the intricate bars and schemes and all that. And we normally don't see that from QP. We normally see him come in here and lyrically, try to out rap you,
Right.
and maybe lack a little bit of the physical presence on the stage and all that. But not here. He went completely in his bag. He dug everything out. He was feeling himself. He was freestyling.
Yep.
I mean, if he freestyled that long, that was like a good 16.
Yeah, that was
minimum.
That was crazy, man.
Where he was just on the shoes, and every one of them hit, like every single one. And it's not at that point. It's not even so much that he's dragging out the fact that about his shoes, or even if it's true. It's more just the fact that he was able to keep it alive for so long and did it so well,
and it never got corny.
So many layers to it.
It never got corny. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what was so dope about it. And I mean, jokes can be bars, but jokes are bars. And if it lands, it lands. And he landed that entire round, man. Like, that was one of my favorite, most entertaining rounds of the year so far, man. The fact that he could crack on a man's shoes for so long was crazy, man.
And people were still laughing at the end too. Like, it's not.
Yeah. What would you give that round, man, from a 1 to 10?
Man, I give that one. That was like I'd say like an 8.5, honestly.
Damn, I'm always notching it up a 0.5 more, man. That was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna stick with the 8.5. Yeah. Let me not get too crazy.
I'm a little more critical just because it wasn't so crazy with the bars. There wasn't like a big scheme or a big haymaker. It was funny. It was cool, and jokes are nice, and they can get you around, and they help a persona. I mean, like a Pat Stay, even a QP. I mean, comedy definitely has its place in battle rap.
Yeah. You know what?
And roasting somebody never gets old.
Ever. I think I'll definitely agree with you on the 8.5. Simply because I thought that he could have had a couple of more harder haymakers just to end them off with, just because he started going off on a little tangent towards the end. I thought that could have been just a little bit tighter. But I mean, man, if you can make me laugh throughout an entire round, that is something that I gotta give it up to that person, man, because not everybody can do that. And sometimes, man, we just need a good laugh in battle rap. We're so damn serious. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to QP for that round. You know what I'm saying? So everybody, once again, go check out that battle, Syndicate Cartel, on YouTube, QP versus Young Kannon. Now we're about to get into YK's second round, man, and just let the people know a little bit about this second round, man. What you thought about his second round, player?
I mean, YK is YK. I don't know how many times people have to say it. I don't know how many times I have to say it. I don't know how many times I have to hear it. I don't know how many times he has to say it.
It's more punches. And after that round where somebody clowns on you for 3 minutes, you know what I'm saying? You got to be a professional to just let it be water right off your back. You know what I'm saying? And he got into a rebuttal off the jump. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then he does a good job in this round of making you kind of forget of everything you just heard.
Facts, man. So
as crazy as it is, and we gave it an 8.5, as crazy as that round was, and with all the freestyling, the fact that he can make you be like, what did he say that last one? Oh, he's talking about his shoes the whole time? What did he say? Oh, yeah, no, something about some OKC, Westbrook. So, come on. I mean,
yo, not for nothing.
YK,
when he started going into the OKC, I was like, yo, come on, man, another OK. But when he said the bullshit, come on, man, the Westbrook Jordans, that was the most original OKC bar flip that I've heard.
Freestyle.
Come on, man. It's
a freestyle.
All right. With all that being said, let's get into this fire round from Young Kannon. Let's go.
He had a whole round about my shoes. Cool. Now it's time for the chrome to come out. Cause I see he got them foams on his feet. Now he about to foam at the mouth.
QP had on the foam posits.
But word is, you live in Chicago now. Yeah. Word of advice, don't eyeball niggas too tough and fix your hat. But I met you in Seattle. You not a bad nigga in real time, I admit to that. I'm glad you got out that wannabe tough guy face on camera like he gripping straps. Cause we got some shit that'll take a chunk out of QP. I pinched a pack.
Now, I gotta say, I dig the foam posit flip because QP was wearing foam posits. And, I'm following Kannon. But then up to this point, it's still like that pinch the pack wasn't the biggest. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Nah.
it wasn't the that wasn't the biggest haymaker I was expecting at the end of all of that build up, especially to start that second round with such a fire.
Not for YK either, especially for the way that he normally doesn't have a setup like that without something pretty crazy at the end of it.
Yeah, and on top of that, I mean, once he did the added 2 zips onto QP, made him 6 ounces. It was like,
how many times can you flip QP by breaking it down?
Right, and the pinch the pack one just didn't hit as hard because I'm like, you already had the best weed bar of the battle already. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he could have left it alone, but yeah. I'm using. I mean, everybody's got their filler, and this is us nitpicking.
Right, and not to man, this round is still a fire round, but hey, this is the Recappables, and this is what we do. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna do it because not every battle is gonna be this fun. Some of them we gonna have to get down to the nitty gritty. So battle rappers, we're not always gonna have the most positive thing to say every single time, but we are gonna be fair to you. All right, so let's continue.
Well said.
Quantum physics claim he about that rah-rah. But I doubt that fam bout it. Turn his stomach to clam chowder. 12 gauge. Buckshots knock 84 grams out. And Trez wanna rock his dome. Trez wanna rock his dome. Pull to your bitch lips. No, I got it, bro. Rubber grip in her mouth like she giving head with a condom on. I give them bruises. I give them bruises. Pain and violence is how I give it to them. Barking on cue. I'm Bishop in the living room.
Now, that was the first bar that I was like, thank you, Kannon. You know what I'm saying?
This was like the push.
Yeah.
It's like the push start. It got the rock going down the hill for him. Right? After that, it just starts.
After this, it's like an avalanche, man. And I just remember.
It took him a while to get into it.
I just remember Tupac just barking on cue in the living room in the movie Juice, man. So it's like, the young old head bars from Kannon is just always refreshing. And it's like, I'm surprised no one ever said that to QP or the other QP. You know what I mean? So kudos to Kannon for that fire bar. Let's get back into this.
It in tune. This your home now, I bury you still. I got a leg up in the house. That's Marion Hill. You
All right. For you youngins, I got a leg up in the house. That's Marion Hill. Now, if you know LL Cool J.
I had to Google this.
Oh, you say word.
I had to Google.
Was it rewarding once you Googled it, though?
It was, and it made the bar hit a lot harder.
Nice,
I was wondering why I got the reaction it got. Because I was like, man, what is
all right, so let me break it down for y'all youngins, the young old heads going to work here. Now, I got the leg up in the house. That's Marion Hill. Now, LL Cool J starred in a show called In the House. And as you know, LL Cool J used to always wear one pant leg, one sweatsuit, one jean leg up. So I got a leg up in the house, and the character's name was Marion Hill. So I hope it all makes sense to you guys. That was a fire bar from Young Kannon. Thank you, Kannon, for the young old head bars. Let's rock.
better chill before they call R3 to hold the coffin. We should have did this in a cage. You done got Mick Foley'd off it. Crisscross. Kill whoever made back the nigga. That's Rick Ross. Then keep clapping on Money Mitch when he pissed off. You mad washed like Thor crib, you ass.
No, go ahead, player. I'm sorry. You about to say?
No. You could let it rock right here.
Keep going. All right, let me back it up for everyone.
For himself right here.
Keep clapping on Money Mitch when he pissed off. You mad washed like Thor crib, you ass God. Look like a nigga that cracked.
All right, I didn't understand that one. Thor crib, ass God.
Like Asgard is like a. I'm not a big
AZ God or ASS God. Like
I think AZ. Like, but he was using it as
like your ass God.
Like you ass God, yeah. And it's like Asgard. I believe. I'm not a big. Cartoon.
Oh, hold on. You might say that.
Thor's Asgardian, so Thor
it's
like an Asgard.
Oh, that makes sense now.
Odin, it's like,
yeah.
Like the gods.
Yeah. Yeah, all right. So you guys heard it from my main man, Matt, the engineer over here. You know what I'm saying? So now that makes sense. You know what I mean? Young Kannon, I'm not really into the comics like that, but shit, here we go.
I knew I had heard it before, so it hit for me. I knew I had heard it. I didn't know what it was exactly, but I knew.
I knew by the reaction that it definitely landed, but I was like, listen, man, I don't know, but fuck it. It worked. Here we go.
Then keep clapping on Money Mitch when he pissed off. You mad washed like Thor crib. You Asgard look like a nigga that cracked.
Got you. Yeah, Asgard. Nice.
You mad washed like Thor crib. You Asgard look like a nigga that cracked cards cause he that fraud. K9, Pitbull, them my attack dogs. All that coke you doing still never been on a smack card.
That was it.
Although coke is not heroin and heroin is smack, but it's okay, Young Kannon. I'm gonna let you get away with it because the delivery was fire. But
he convinced everybody there. He had me. I'm like,
yeah. He had me convinced until I went
smack bar. What do you?
Yo, he had me convinced till I was like, wait a minute, Kannon. Kannon always got one of those in the battle where you're like, no.
And that's one where if especially if you're in the building, you have a couple of drinks in you.
You react.
Let's go. But then I'm sitting back and I'm like, yeah, that's one of them ones.
Hey, listen, man. If I was in the building, I would have been reacting too. I'm gonna keep it 100.
That's why people are like, oh, you go based off crowd reaction. Not always. If you think of it in both perspectives, then it's totally different.
Exactly. If you
can look at a battle from if you were in the crowd, if you've been to a battle event, if you were there and how you would react, and versus you sitting at home and watching on a computer, and you have to know the difference.
Exactly.
And especially when we get into people who perform for the camera versus people who perform for the audience. Mm-hmm. I mean, that we have to know the difference.
Exactly. Mundo. All right, let's move on.
Are you the nerdy skateboard type or the fake cokehead? Nigga, pick a struggle. Before you get slapped out the blue like Nipsey Hussle. Mercedes symbol. I bring the peace all in your circle. Big cow. It won't be the first 40 that murk you. How you a pimp and out here losing the broads? On RBE, we all saw the nigga dying. You let a girl fuck you up in a field like Icebox off the Little Giants.
Kannon with the live 9-5 bars.
On RBE, we all saw the nigga dying. You let a girl fuck you up in a field. That's Icebox off the Little Giants. My nigga, try it. Pull a kick dough and let the heater blast. Squeeze the mag. Bah, bah. Running Q out the crib. That's Moesha dad.
And then now, this is the thing. At this point, like this is when you're like, all right, yeah, the freestyling and the shoes was cool.
Yeah.
But we'd rather hear this.
This is what we want to hear. You know what I'm saying?
We'd rather hear this. You know what I mean? And it's like
running Q out the house like Moesha dad. Oh man, let's move on. That was fire.
When Kannon off the arm, that's Mega Man. Long beard, Al-Qaeda clan. Long stick, Al-Qaeda clan. Fuck your play on words. My words ain't nothing to play with, fam. Get your land.
Did Swave say that before? Or something like that?
And that's what you see what I'm saying? This is like
you got wordplay. My words ain't nothing to play with. Something like that, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
All right, cool.
Even if he didn't, I'm sure someone else has. You know what I mean? That's one of them bars where I let it slide.
But I feel like it's a
most of what you're saying is original, but there's a couple where I'm like, you didn't steal it, but it's been said before.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Get your legs broke, you gon' fall trying to take a stand. And you look like a nigga that'll take the stand. Them boys apply pressure, bro, squilling. Keenan Ivory, I made my way in, and sucker, I'm gon' get him. Your pen game is cool, but you rap them words choppy with no rhythm. Your style frostbite. I mean the shit cold, but it ain't got no feeling.
Oh, come on, that was crazy. That was crazy. Your style frostbite, your shit cold, but you ain't got no. Come on.
You gonna get shot for your speeches? That's the Malcolm X. If we ain't cool, I put a band on him. The whole house arrest. You ain't
I feel like I heard the ankle thing already.
You ain't a jack boy or a low life thug, nigga. Stick with the rapping, cause everybody claim they real until the real shit happen.
Southside. Fire round, man. Fire fucking round from Kannon, man. What do you give Kannon for that round?
And see, this is tough for me.
Mm-hmm.
on the number scale because
let me throw mine out. Let me throw mine out since you've thrown yours out first.
Yeah, go. Yeah,
I'm gonna give him like a 8.75 on this one.
All right, can we do that? Because I was thinking the exact
Listen,
same
man,
thing.
we can fine tune it as much as we want to, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's not a 9, but it's not an 8.5. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah,
that's what
slight edge to YK in that.
Yeah,
round.
man, slight edge. Man, yeah, we could do that for sure, man. On our version of the Recappables, we can fine tune it as much as we want, bro. You know, because sometimes it's like that. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
listen,
and it's like because that wasn't a 9, but that was definitely a little bit better than what QP brought.
Right, man. And there ain't no rules, so we can make our own rules. You know what I'm saying? Now, with 8 minutes left on this clock, brother, let me get to the third round. So everyone, I hope you enjoy listening to that second round. Go watch that battle, Syndicate Cartel on YouTube, QP versus Young Kannon. Go watch that. Now, third round I got from QP. Where's my notes? Fire third, YK third. Let me see. Okay, boom. Here we go. All right. Starts off with the cannonball scheme. It was pretty dope. He did kind of like a bill collector, kind of super soaker. What a blast. That joy was kind of cool. Really enjoyed that. And he had a scheme about about Young Cannon's sister's daughter being at the pool party, and he's gonna hold his niece before the splash. And I was like, yo, which all tied into the cannonball. So heavy scheming to start off the round from QP. What else?
Yeah, I mean, just kind of at this point, he's just kind of flaunting the pen game. He did the performance and everything that he had to do in the earlier round. The first round was kind of both.
Yeah, going crazy.
And then, this round he just went back to the pen.
The wittiest line of this round for me was, "When you battle clean, was that you facing your biggest fears?" I thought that shit was crazy.
It's like,
I thought that shit was just crazy, man. Crazy.
And you think, and it's something simple like that, but
yep.
The way that it ties into everything is like,
yeah, man. He moves on. I prep for this. No sweat or twist, or no sweater twist. So the pen game's just crazy. He's just flossing.
Yeah.
Pull up in the DeVille spot dog. Give him 101. You know what I'm saying?
And this is one where you still need to go back and watch this battle if you haven't already. If you're listening now, this whole battle from top to bottom was entertaining, but. This is one where if you go back, you can actually break apart. This can be a preference battle, for certain people. I could see if you have QP winning the second, and then if you have his pen game and you're actually in that QP zone.
Yeah,
I mean, you'll catch a lot more than other people. So if you're a QP fan, you were happy with what he brought.
QP ends it off. This heckless for the pressure since you're already under the gun. That was fire. Give you the same advice as a slut. Nothing fucking free. What you see is what you get. A bang for the buck. And, QP's a P, allegedly, what I'm saying out there. Mega Man's babysitter. That's the only time they'll say that kid's got a cannon for an arm. You know what I mean? So just flossing his pen game, something crazy. Just going ham.
Flip schemes.
Yeah. That was that was top notch QP there, man. That's, that was a fire round. What would you give that round real quick for QP?
I'd probably, either 8 or 8.25. We're doing that little in between scale.
Yeah,
it wasn't. It wasn't it didn't. Again, not really wow me. If he had that performance from the second round, coupled in with some of those bars, I feel like it would have hit a lot harder. But you could tell. I don't know if physically he lost steam, but it was just a little bit.
What's crazy was for me is I thought that the bars were better than the bars in the first round, but obviously the performance wasn't as crazy as the performance in the second round. You know what I mean? So what's funny
it showed a lot more coming off of that.
Right, but I enjoyed his pen a lot more this round. So for me, I gave it right back to him at like an 8.5. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
so
and that's what I like.
There.
That's why I have to. That's why I said 8.25.
No, if I'm
gonna. I don't know how much I'm a dog for the performance and all that yet. We'll figure all that out later.
Facts, man. Then YK's third, he started off reciting one of QP's pause bars. We ain't going to get into that. He's got a lot of, just straight more just fire punchlines coming out. But I want to just play just the end of his round where I thought to me where he really took off and took this, where it was just a magical round where he was pretending like he was whooping QP. Let me play this for y'all.
I wrote that for me.
find it real quick. Come on, Wi-Fi.
Your crew is the sons in your window in R3. I'm your daddy when you fuck up. I send a crew of sons in your window to their R3 niggas dead. I'm tucking the tools, ready to leave your blood in a pool. I'm waiting for him with the strap. I'm your daddy
Here
when
we
you fuck
go.
up in school. Like, look boy, pop. I done raised you to be way too smart.
The cat is acting it out.
Stop fronting like you a dog, you a nerd, nigga. Play your part. Ever since pop, you've been hanging with Clean.
Oh my god. Yo, and the editing on this is so crazy too, man. Oh man. Performance off the hook.
You've been hanging with Clean. You've been acting way too hard. Off John Q, the nigga sons you and gave you heart.
Oh, come on, man. I'm John Q. I son you and gave you heart. After that fire performance, man. Oh, man, since we're running out of time here, let me make it quick. On my end, I felt like that performance right there brought it up to like damn near 8.75 for me for Kannon in that round. I just thought that performance just took it over the top and it was just fire. I didn't expect that level of just like pure comedy and performance from Kannon, man. What did you think of that final round from Kannon?
I mean, I had an 8.5 going in.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't, anything that I wasn't expecting from him. And you see where these numbers are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every single round, these numbers are close, right? This is what you get from YK. This is the thing that you see every time. Yep. And this battle, I would not be mad if somebody had QP winning, the second round for sure.
Yeah.
Even, some of the first round with the pen, I'm sure you go back in, there's things you'll catch the third time you watch and the fourth.
Right.
But overall, I mean, that third round from Young Kannon was good. I give it an 8.5. And the margin of all these is so close, man. That's why I say, like, if you give QP a round over YK, I'm not mad at you. This whole battle was fire. This was a good performance for both of them. Nobody's stock was lowered. I think, if anything, both of them will be on cards in the future.
Facts,
YK certainly, QP, I guess, if he decides to, but people will try to book him for sure.
Man, I thought I was really impressed that YK that YK
was shooting like it,
right?
He was shooting like it.
That YK ended the battle so strong, like he didn't play around, dog. Like from beginning to end,
start to finish. He took this serious, which he does every battle, which is why we don't have to say that about YK.
Right, and not only that, he respected QP. QP is someone to respect, and QP brought it because sometimes we get a QP that's kind of, hey, I'm just here to kind of just show face, make the crowd happy. But QP brought it also, and Kannon just closed out so tight, man, and with that final bar, just the performance at the end. So, I have Kannon slightly edging this battle, but nonetheless, a fire battle. I say it's a classic for Syndicate Cartel. You know what I'm saying? We'll see how it shapes out throughout the rest of battle rap. Throughout the rest of its battle rap life. You know what I mean? But I strongly encourage everybody to go watch this battle on Syndicate Cartel on YouTube. QP Quantum Physics versus YK Young Kannon, man. Dylan, you got any words for the people out there as we close up shop?
No, man. Thank y'all for rocking with me. It's the first show. It's only going to get better from here. I promise. Just be on the lookout for Recappables.
Word.
Here with your boy Dylan, man. We're here with Vlad. Thank y'all for showing out. Thanks for coming out and listening to us.
Big facts, man. And everybody, until next time, tap in. Peace.
Peace.